Good morning, welcome to Thruxton Motor Racing Circuit in Hampshire. We're here today for the first RTTC Closed Circuit Championship, where 150 riders will ride 5 laps of the famous motor racing circuit. The weather is dry, it's overcast, there is a breeze coming from the southwest which will make it quite tough for the 150 rider field as they come into the finishing straight. And the interesting thing about today's event is that it's going to be chipped timed and the riders are going to be going off at 30-second intervals. So it'll be interesting how that technology works for us. We're hoping that this will become a regular championship and we're looking forward to a very exciting race.
5 laps of the Thruxton circuit equates to almost 12 miles. In addition to the electronic timing, traditional manual timing is also being used.
1, go. 1, 2.
The women are the first to start, and the first rider to leave is Gillian Reynolds of Willesden CC. Gillian completed with a time of 31:59. Claire Wadden of the Bristol Road Club is next to leave. Claire's time 30:56. This is Nancy Dawkins of Portsmouth North End CC. Nancy finished in 35:24. On the start line now is Alison Vesey of Mickey Crank CC, and she finished in 33:08. Katie King rides for Zappy's Cycling Club, and her time was 33:52. Faye Faber is the next to start. She rides for Whitelink Offshore Racing Team. No time, 30:33. This is Alice Saltmarsh and she rides for RST Sport Aero Coach. Alice finished in 33:22. Another rider for RST Sport Aero Coach now. This is Rhiannon Davies and she finished in 31 dead. Eva Nyrenda, riding for A3 CRG, is about to start and she completed the race in a time of 29:59. Another rider for A3 CRG is next to leave. This is Gemma Marshall and she finished in 31:15. Number 16 is Tina Reid of Train Chart Racing Team and Tina finished in 31:13. Marianne Britton is the next to start, and she rides for VC San Rafael. Marianne's time, 32:07. This is Karina Bowie riding for Train Chart Racing Team, and she was 4th fastest woman in the event, finishing in 28:41. Crystal Spearman of Scuderia Racing Team was next to leave, and finished 3rd in the women's event in a time of 28:06. Local rider Mandy Hibbert of the North Hampshire Road Club is next to leave. Mandy finished in a time of 29:49. Number 23 is Adele Tyson-Bloor and she rides for Mule Bar Girls Sigma Sport. She completed in 28:47. Caroline Harding of VC San Rafael is next to start and she finished in 29:21. This is Libby McLaren riding for RST Sport Aero Coach and her time was 29:30. The second fastest woman on the day was Gillian Pears riding for Pro Cycling Magazine Racing Team and her time was 27:36. The last woman to leave is Dame Sarah Story riding for Pearl Izumi Sports Tours International and went on to win the women's race in a time of 26:52. The juniors are next to leave and the girls go first. This is 13-year-old Emily Knight of Lee Valley Youth Cycling Club. She finished in 34:51. Caitlin Peters is also 13 years old and she rides for Fair and Wheelers. Caitlin finished in 32.44. The next to leave is Clover Murray of Braintree Velos Cycle Racing Club. Clover was the third fastest girl on the day and finished in a time of 30.34. Louise Scupham of Scarborough Paragon Cycling Club finishes the second fastest girl in a time of 30.02. And the fastest girl on the day was Henrietta Colborne, who was also the fastest girl in this year's GHS 10 final. Henrietta riding for Beacon Wheelers and finished in a time of 29 dead. Because this is a closed circuit event, under 12s can take part, and this is the youngest rider of the day, 11-year-old Rudy Knight. Rudy rides for the Lee Valley Youth Club and completed the course in 39 dead. Let's watch the next few junior boys start. Number 58 is Lewis Bully of Sports Trader Race Team. Lewis was third fastest boy, completing the course in 24.50. Next to leave is Robert Hogg of First Child Wheelers. Robert completed in 25.39. This is Ben McIntosh, the fastest boy on the day. Ben rides for Crew Clarion Wheelers and finished in a time of 24.41. The last boy to leave is James Falconer of Ferry Hill Wheelers Mountain High. James missed the top spot by just 2 seconds, finishing as the second fastest boy in a time of 24.43. Now it's time for the men's race, and the first man to leave is Rick Froud of Alton CC Owen Cycles. Rick finished his ride in 26.25. Next on the start line is Dave Dawkins of Portsmouth North End CC. Dave's time was 27.27. David Lester of CC Weymouth is next to leave, and his time was 32.50. Another David is about to start. This is local man David Newton, riding for Andover Wheelers, and his time 38.43. Now we're heading out onto the circuit to see how the race is getting on. Time to return to the start line now for the last of the men to start, and this is Christopher Fennell of Catford CC Equip Banks, who finished in a time of 24:41. Andy Langdown of Hampshire Road Club is next to start, and his time 25:17. Leaving now is the fastest rider of the day. That's Josh Teasdale riding for In-Gear Quick Fit Train Shark Racing Team, and Josh achieved a time of 23:28. Xavier Disley of RST Sport Aero Coach is next to leave and finished at a time of 27:20. This is Danny Axford. He rides for Arctic Tax Racing Team and put in a time of 25:07. Next on the start line is Justin Lane of RST Sport Aero Coach. Justin's time was 24:47. Number 145 is Steve Walkling of Velo Club San Rafael, and he's riding his spare bike, but put in a time of 27:04. Robert West of RST Sport Aero Coach is the next to the start line. Robert went on to finish in 25:03. This is George Fox of 45 Road Club, and his time was 24:35. Another RST Sport Aero Coach rider now. This is David Woodhouse, and he finished in 25:49. Next to leave is the reigning British Best All-Rounder Adam Topham of High Wycombe CC. Adam achieved a podium place today, coming third overall in a time of 23:33. Daniel Barnett of www.dragtozero.com is next to leave. Daniel finished in a time of 24:56. This is Connell Yates of In-Gear Quick Fit Train Shark Racing Team about to start his ride. Connell finished in a time of 24:41. This is Mark Holton of www.dragtozero.com, who achieved the silver medal position by putting in a time of 23:30. Here's fast veteran Rob Pears of Pro Cycling Magazine Racing Team. His time was 23:54. Number 168 is Blake Pond riding for North Devon Wheelers, and he finished in 6th place in a time of 23:43. And the last rider to leave is David Crawley riding for Fibrax Wrexham Road Club. David finished in 4th place in a time of 23:40. Time to head to the finishing line to watch the last few riders to complete their ride. David Crawley crosses the line, we head back to Race HQ to check the results and the presentations.
And our champion today, it's been a cycling time trial scholarship rider for the last 2 years. I think it's his 21st birthday sometime this week. Is that correct? In a time of 23:28, riding for In-Gear Quick Fit Train Shark Racing Team, Josh Teasdale.
Well, congratulations, Josh. How did you find it out there today?
Very hard, actually. Yeah, I rode around it one lap and just in normal clothes, and I thought, oh, it won't be a bad day. But then you get in your cycling gear and you get out there, and it was just down that back straight. It was just a nightmare. And
so the wind got to you then?
Yeah, it did. But then you get it into your head. You think, I've got a bit of a breather down here, but you come around, it wasn't the case. So it was good. You're always having to push.
Now, right, you think this is your first senior championship?
It is, yeah, the first closed circuit one. As I say, last year I rode the National Time Trial Championships on the road, third in that one, so it's nice to get a championship win.
Closed circuits are fantastic, and I've just come back from holiday a few days ago, but I wanted to come and race to support the event. We don't get too many closed roads circuits in the UK or any closed time trials, so it's a fantastic addition to the programme.
So from Thruxton Motor Racing Circuit in Hampshire, where they have a duathlon now running, it's goodbye from me.